Hey Francis. Hey, I thought I would record a little video for you. I just finished 2 Alchemy 7 videos about some of my alchemy I've been doing with the miser and the martyr and the victim and yeah, all of that this week. And read a little bit from the Tarot Revisioned by J. McCloskey. Read a little bit about the Empress Key 3. And yeah, just some pretty profound things in there. I just wanted to show you a picture. I'm sure you could look it up. Look at J. McCloskey and his Tarot Revisioned. It took him 17 years to paint all of the 22 archetypes and write the text for it. And so, yeah, it's pretty profound significance. And I really love the Key 17, the star. You know, that's one of my favorites. I wasn't ever sure quite why, but yeah, she just speaks to me. And I know that, I'm not alone in that. But here is a picture. I'm not sure how well you can see it, of the Empress. That's a good look. Yeah, maybe you might be able to find a better picture where you can look at it and sit in meditation with her. And yeah, I love this book. Such a beautiful book, and I love working with the sacred archetypes and the wisdom of the tarot. I've only been kind of exploring the tarot actively for the last 2 years. Just really kind of willing to learn more about all of the gifts within, you know. So just part of my expansion on that. And I always get what I need. I'm always blown away by that. I always have what I need, and so that's really something to be grateful for and appreciate and acknowledge and praise. So there are a few things that I wanted to respond to, and I do totally on the same page with you about some of the signals and some of the interference and some of our wireless technologies and the electromagnetic frequencies and devices and all of that on the different waves and things. They do affect us in ways that are seen and unseen and known and unknown. And it is one of those things that hasn't been tested for safety, or officially anyways. There's been tests done on it, but not for safety, not for human safety and biological safety and stuff. So yeah, there's different sabotage, and there's different technologies that are used and not in good ways, not with it doesn't really contribute to life in certain ways, and that's weaponry. So so some people say that technology can be neutral, and it can be, but when it's meant to be a weaponized form of it, it's not neutral, is it? But that's a whole nother story too. But we actually are the real technology. We're the real deal. We some of this artificial technology, it doesn't hold up to snuff at all. When we know what we're powerful, when we know the power, that we're capable of and what we can create. So there's always that, and things to be aware of too, how to minimize our exposure to those frequencies and radiation, and what plants can help us detox and support ourselves when we're exposed and we're sometimes in a toxic soup, and there's not any way that we can avoid living in this toxic soup sometimes, but it does help. We have a lot of choices, a lot of empowering choices, and a lot of support that we can call on and employ and use and honor. And yeah, so it's like the plants. Like there's a lot of good plants for helping with radiation exposure, and like, of course, it's all about like our internal environment as well. And then like the frequency that we're broadcasting can override like the other frequencies that are broadcasting. And so, but I have noticed that there is like a lot of interference since about a month and a half ago. Like, yeah, with certain satellites being launched and all of that. So, yeah, there's some sabotage and trickery in things like with certain signals that are being sent out. Yeah, and it does have to do with like influencing the mind and the perceptions and yeah, all the mind control and programs and all of that. So yeah, kind of controlling our perceptions and our projections. It's interference, yeah, that messes with like what we want to create and what we want to manifest, what we want, where we want to put our attention. And so yeah, that's like a huge thing, is what do we want to focus on so our focus isn't hijacked, you know, because like we do have a choice when it comes to that too. So sometimes it's easy to get sucked into like some of these little traps, you know, like, and it's just something we get to be aware of and vigilant be aware of. Like our phones and our devices can be tools for sure to help connect us and all that, but they can also, yeah, kind of be a hindrance to true connection. So yeah, it's all in the way that we use it, and it's discernment and everything. It's a blessing and a curse sometimes. But yeah, like I think it's interesting, like looking at the ways that we communicate or gather information, and yeah, I think we're just funny. We're silly beings being silly. But I wanted to respond to your vision at Serpent Mound and the floods and how profound like all of that is, like as far as like symbolism and what the flood means, and like yeah, and things we shared about like yeah, one unifies and one destroys. Yeah, but they both kind of do have their destructive force, I guess. One is cleansing, a cleansing purification that washes everything that's not true away. Yeah, to clear a new way, clear a new way of being. And then the other flood, yeah, is the flood that we drown in, I guess. You know, when we give our power away. And yeah, and that could be our poison that we're drowning in, like our emotional poison, our emotional baggage or garbage that we've maybe identified with or become attached to in certain ways. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I really do appreciate like every time I read your words and you carefully, yeah, craft. It seems you craft your message in a very thoughtful way, and I appreciate that too. I can see the depth like beyond the words, beyond your words too. And I feel and see certain things in what you express and yeah, how you describe your experience. Yeah, I value and appreciate your perspective and your offerings. And yeah, I totally relate that. Yeah, it seems like we're all getting like these pieces, like these archetypal pieces, these archetypal visions, and they all relate and correspond, and they all are giving us like little glimpses. Yeah. And I just think it's so cool just to look at it and to see it that way. Like how it all relates, how we all relate, how what we're experiencing relates. Yeah, to what is and to what's coming into being. And how we just get to be here on this trip. Yeah, while we're unfolding our own beings. And yeah, which is another trip and a half. And so I just get to, yeah, laugh about some of my struggles and some of my agendas, like that I realize are my ego's agendas. And like really, yeah, it's kind of funny how in certain ways we can get wrapped up in things and not be able to see the whole picture clearly. And so yeah, until we do let go and release. And I also noticed that I was trying too hard. I was like, okay, maybe I'm trying too hard, so maybe I'm just not gonna try, and I'll just like be willing to show up. And then yeah, so that was also another theme for me that relates. Synchronicity, like you said with your friend, like maybe you were trying too hard and then you just let go, and then it was able to, become what it needed, and like the space was made and all that. And so like once we free up that energy, and then it just unfolds how it's meant to be, and naturally, organically. So I think that's really cool, getting out of our own ways, like, oh yeah, remembering those things too. And so I think that's really cool. And yeah, I feel like, yeah, there was a lot that related, in allowing it all to be, and allowing myself to be full and all that I am for me. Like I'm accountable to me. Even if someone else isn't happy with me, it helped remind me, oh yeah, it's not your job to like me, it's my job to like me. And also, yeah, kind of looking into that it's okay for me to change my mind. Like, and it's okay to withdraw my energy and my time. If others in relationship with me aren't willing to reciprocally exchange, and that's okay. Like, yeah, maybe they don't have anything to give, and that's okay too. Like, but like sometimes I think we do have more to give than we feel or think we do. And maybe it's just being, yeah, being and seeing what wants to emerge and what wants to come through and what wants to be shared or offered. And so, yeah, rather than maybe seeking to understand so badly, maybe you can just be willing, and I'm gonna practice this. Maybe just be willing to be and allow the space to be for being, and see what wants to be expressed and come through naturally, you know. And maybe there will be understanding, and maybe that's how it organically unfolds and happens. And yeah, can be. And so yeah, I'll just maybe leave it at that. But I've just been blown away, really, like synchronicities, and I'm really glad that, like, yeah, that you've gotten your breakthroughs and some amazing conversations and communications and openings through your relationships. And that's really huge too, like with your mother. Like I've had stuff with my mother as well, like when it comes to religion and beliefs, and like, making room for her perspective and her experience, and then also mine. And I feel like, yeah, that's so beautiful when we can hold that for each other and allow that and share from that space. Yeah, where we're both right to be, and as we are and as we'll be. And I think that's so cool. Like, it does hold the space for compromise, cooperation, and receptivity and mutual understanding. So that's really beautiful. Yeah, and powerful and potent. So yeah, it's like these little things in these little ways, and it's just opening up and reflecting, like, how to do it on the larger stage. I feel like too, or like, it starts on the smaller, the inner, and then it's reflected on the outer. And so yeah, and keep cultivating and appreciating and valuing these things and these exchanges, and yeah, we just attract and get more of the same opportunities to expand and grow. Yeah, and master these things. So that's really cool in a lot of different ways. Instead of looking at it as lack, like we're just constantly appreciating and cultivating and yeah, expanding our skills and our knowledge, and yeah, it's just generative. And that's just what life is. She does. That's what she does, and she is. So, yay. All right. Well, take good care of you and be well, and I hope we talk again soon. Okay. See ya.